Hey everyone, Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to Crime Zone. Before we get to today's video, we wanted to announce that Crime Zone's official Patreon page is now live. In addition to ad-free videos and other extras, patrons will also get access to weekly bonus videos for our Crimes of the Week and Crimes of the Week International series. So if you want even more Crime Zone content, head over to patreon.com/crimezone for exclusive cases not featured in today's video.
This week, authorities in Marietta, Georgia announced that they had arrested the infamous criminal known as the Crawling Burglar, a 47-year-old man named Aaron Major. Police suspect that Major is the culprit behind at least 12 break-ins at restaurants and other businesses in the metro Atlanta area since September. He gained his nickname because of the unique way that he reportedly committed his crimes. After cutting the rubber stripping off a window and removing it to gain access to a business, Major would then crawl across the floor on his stomach before grabbing cash registers and other valuables. This supposedly helped Major to avoid being seen and also prevented alarms with motion detectors from being activated. It is suspected that he would sometimes commit 2 or 3 of these robberies in a single night. Major was arrested earlier this month after surveillance footage of him during one of these robberies helped to identify him. According to the Georgia Department of Corrections, Major has served 4 prison sentences since 1992 and has had several burglary convictions on his record.
On Tuesday, representatives from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Central District of California announced that a retired nun had agreed to plead guilty to fraud and money laundering charges after she embezzled more than $835,000 from a school where she worked and gambled it away in Las Vegas. According to reports, 79-year-old Mary Margaret Kruper stole the money from St. James Catholic School in Torrance, where she served as the principal for 28 years. During this time, she controlled several aspects of the school's finances, including multiple credit union accounts, as well as the money the school received for tuition, fees, and charitable donations. Authorities say that Kruper's embezzlement took place over a period of 10 years, in which she made numerous trips to Las Vegas and gambled the money away. She and an accomplice, Sister Lara Chang, reportedly told people that the money came from a rich uncle. The scheme was finally uncovered in 2018, after the FBI was asked to investigate a check that had been deposited into one of the school's accounts. Kruper has agreed to plead guilty to 1 count of wire fraud and 1 count of money laundering, charges that carry a maximum sentence of up to 40 years in federal prison. It remains unclear if authorities plan to pursue charges against Kruper's accomplice.
Authorities in Austin, Texas say that they're currently investigating a shooting that left 1 person dead and more than a dozen others wounded this weekend. The incident took place on Saturday morning on East 6th Street in a part of downtown Austin known for its restaurants and bars. According to police, 911 calls began to come in around 1:24 a.m. after shooting erupted between 2 people on the street. It is believed that the shooting started after a dispute between 2 men and that most of the victims were innocent bystanders. A total of 14 people were injured, 2 of whom were in critical condition at the time police arrived at the scene. One of those 2 victims, 25-year-old Douglas John Cantor, died from his injuries on Sunday. Though the names of the suspects have not yet been released at the time of this recording, police say that they have identified both men and that one has since been taken into custody. Authorities are still on the lookout for the second suspect.
Authorities in Allentown, Pennsylvania say that a woman is facing charges this week after she allegedly attempted to hire a hitman to kill her husband. According to reports, 44-year-old Claudia Carrion was arrested on Thursday after meeting with an undercover police detective who she believed would complete the job. Carrion was apparently so desperate to get rid of her husband that she even went so far as to work out a payment plan with her would-be hitman, saying that she could not pay the agreed-upon $4,000 fee up front, but that she would instead pay a $100 deposit and would pay the rest of the money in equal weekly installments. After handing over the cash deposit, she was taken into custody. Following her arrest, Carrion told investigators that she wanted her husband dead because he had abused her and cheated on her with several women. However, police say they were never contacted about the alleged abuse prior to the incident, and her son also said he never witnessed anything that could corroborate her claims. Carrion also reportedly told investigators that this was not the first time she had tried to have her husband killed. She said that the previous time did not work out. Carrion has now been charged with criminal solicitation to commit homicide and remains in custody while she awaits a preliminary hearing on July 8th.
Representatives from the Monroe County Sheriff's Department in Wisconsin say that they are currently investigating a brutal crime that left one person dead and 3 others injured, including the perpetrator, after a man attacked 3 people with an axe last weekend. The incident began late on Sunday morning when police received a 911 call about a disturbance at a home in the town of Sparta. When authorities arrived at the residence, they found the suspect outside holding a rifle and suffering from a gunshot wound that appeared to be self-inflicted. Inside, they found the body of 87-year-old Bernard Waite, as well as a woman and a third victim. All 3 had been attacked with an axe. The 2 living victims and the suspect were taken to the hospital. Although police have said that Waite was related to the perpetrator, the exact nature of the relationship has not been released at the time of this recording. Police have also declined to release the names of the suspect or the 2 other victims, saying that their investigation is ongoing.
Representatives from the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office in California say that a man is lucky to be alive this week after he made the bizarre decision to climb into a piece of farming equipment on a vineyard in Santa Rosa. According to reports, police found the man on the morning of June 8th after receiving a call from a citizen complaining about a suspicious vehicle that was parked on private property. When police arrived on the scene, they discovered the vehicle, but quickly realized it made no sense for it to be there. They also discovered a hat sitting on a nearby piece of equipment. When investigators looked into the shaft of the vineyard fan, they discovered that a man was stuck inside. He had climbed into the shaft and become trapped, and had been there for 2 days. Fortunately for the man, the fire department was able to free him from the cramped fan shaft. However, when he was interviewed by police, they had a hard time believing his story that he had climbed inside because he liked taking pictures of the engines of old farm equipment. In the words of the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, quote, "After a thorough investigation which revealed the farm equipment wasn't antique and the man had far more methamphetamine than camera equipment, the motivation to climb into the fan shaft remains a total mystery." Police say they declined to arrest the man at the time he was freed because he needed to go to the hospital for injuries related to his bizarre misadventure, but have recommended that he be charged with trespassing and drug possession. He also reportedly has violations in a separate probation case, as well as a pending case for which he is out on pretrial release.
Authorities in Palm Beach County, Florida, say that 3 people are dead this week, including the suspect, after a terrifying shooting at a local supermarket. The incident reportedly unfolded around 11:30 a.m. on Thursday, when 55-year-old Timothy J. Wall walked into a Publix grocery store in the village of Royal Palm Beach. He proceeded to shoot a 69-year-old grandmother and her 1-year-old grandson in the produce department before turning the gun on himself. By the time police arrived, roughly 5 minutes later, all 3 were dead. While police originally said that they believed Wall knew the 2 victims, they later changed this and said there was no relationship between them. It has been said that the names of the victims will not be released in accordance with Marsy's Law, which allows the victims of crimes to block information that could lead to them or their families being located or harassed. According to reports, Wall may have suffered from mental health issues and had apparently been threatening to kill people on his Facebook profile for some time leading up to the shooting. However, police say this information was never reported to them. An ex-wife, who has not been named, said she tried to get him help before and after their divorce in 2018, but that no one listened.
Authorities in Delaware say that a suspected serial killer is in custody this week thanks to the actions of a Rite Aid cashier who placed a GPS tracking device in his bag during a robbery. The arrest took place on Tuesday morning, shortly after police say that 39-year-old Keith Gibson robbed the drugstore on West 4th Street in Wilmington. During the armed robbery, the employee slipped the tracking device into his bag of cash before handing it over. Gibson was arrested about 1 block away, armed with a knife and a loaded gun, and wearing a bulletproof vest. Police say that Gibson is currently being investigated in at least 6 homicides in Delaware and Pennsylvania, including the murder of his own mother, 54-year-old Christine Gibson. Christine was found dead at her office in February, where she worked as a mental health counselor. Gibson is also suspected to be behind the murders of Philadelphia Dunkin' Donuts manager Christine Lugo last Saturday, a Metro PCS cell phone store manager in Ellesmere in May, as well as 2 men who were shot and killed at a store in North Philadelphia in January. Authorities say they are currently performing ballistics tests on a weapon that could link Gibson to the killings. Gibson reportedly had a substantial criminal history prior to these recent crimes, and was just paroled last year after serving time for a manslaughter conviction. That's it for this edition of Crimes of the Week. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Crime Zone for more true crime content like this, making sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest releases. Thank you for watching.